2004, an amazing year for PC gaming. Doom 3, Far Cry, Half-Life 2. And here we're right now in playing Doom 3 on PCs from that era, and using the FPS analysis tools of today to see how it actually ran back then. I'm using a 2004-2005 PC with a 6800 GT and AMD 3800 Plus, and I thought it would be good fun to look back at Doom 3's performance in single player on this machine, as well as in cooperative multiplayer with my colleague John Linneman on a completely different PC from the year 2004. But before I get over to that cooperative play with John, which I recorded earlier, let's talk a bit about single player performance, as there were a couple of surprises that I noticed on this machine. The first of which has to do with the frame rate itself. Doom 3 maxes out its in-game playable frame rate at 60 FPS. If you turn off VSync, you're more or less locked to 62.5 FPS or something using the in-game metric, but in reality, it's just outputting 60 frames per second. That's a hard cap with the 1.31 patch that you really cannot do much about with the standard version of the game when not using a source port. Another thing that surprised me was how vertical sync itself was handled by this PC. It is default double buffered. That means the game can be running at 60 FPS, but then drops like a hammer to 30 FPS. I originally thought I could solve this problem easily in the graphics driver by turning on triple buffering there, but it does not work in Doom 3 for some reason. In most areas of the game, you still get those same frame rate drops and frame rate behavior that you would get with double buffering even though triple buffering is on. But in other areas that are actually rather rare, you can see the VSync acting like triple buffering, like here in front of the infirmary. I really think that there's some sort of interfacing problem between the driver, Windows Vista, and Doom 3, as triple buffering should really theoretically be working. That means the only way I could play through this game is either by living with tearing, as I did in the cooperative play with John that you'll see, or by dealing with frame rate lurches. Ugh. In terms of single player performance, I played the game with high settings at the era appropriate 1024x768, which is the resolution people would be using at that time on CRT monitors because this is a rather heavy game for this GPU. And it actually runs rather well, holding onto that 60 FPS as you engage in combat and when exploring around the Mars base. As I say that though, there are definitely drops that occur in frame rate at these settings due to the GPU. Particularly when alpha effects get extremely close to the screen, like when an imp throws a fireball right next to your face, or when multiple enemies with lots of alpha effects are right next to you. Turning the game down to 800x600 though, at those same high settings, cleans up most of that GPU related drops, as the 6800 GT is less pressed for bandwidth in this game. But then there is CPU performance, which had me scratching my head. There are just a number of areas in this game which are CPU limited on this Athlon 64X2 3800 Plus. Like in this room here, changing the resolution in this area does not affect performance at all, which is brutal considering the performance drops that you see in this area. Now I think that my performance would be better if I was using Windows XP, but I also found out after recording with John that my performance in general in this game was being eaten away by Windows Vista doing something extremely insane. For a reason I don't understand, having Windows Update set to on was eating 50% of my CPU resources, even though it wasn't downloading or installing anything. Turning updates to never got rid of that inexplicable CPU utilization and raised frame rates in those CPU limited scenes like the one you see here. So that's a hard lesson to learn. Going back in time and checking out how a game runs on older PC hardware means a lot of testing and double testing and sometimes being surprised at what is actually causing performance to drop. But that's enough about single player performance. Let's get over to my recording with John, where we played through Doom 3 cooperatively with a mod that had actually rather different performance than the single player. So how you doing there, John?
So yeah, Alex, it's good to be here with you because this is a lot of fun. It took a lot of time to set up, but
yes,
I am actually running on a laptop, and this is the famous, this one is specifically the Sager model, the Sager NP9860, but it was really the Clevo D900T. This was a super powerful laptop back in 2004. Equipped with a desktop variant Pentium 4 processor with hyperthreading, running at 3.6 gigahertz. It has a an NVIDIA GeForce Go 6800. Right now I have 3 gigabytes of memory in here. It supports RAID hard drives, so you can have dual hard drives in there using like a SCSI controller. It has a video capture card in it. It has a TV tuner in it. It has a 1680 by 1050 resolution LCD screen. Has 6 fans. It can support 2 optical drives. This thing's a beast, man. It's
Does
massive.
it file your taxes, John? Does it file your taxes?
It did, yeah. I used this laptop for about 3 years as my main like sort of PC, and it was amazing. I'm running Windows XP on it now, but as you can see, you know, it's not perfect, but being able to play a game like Doom 3 at like these settings on a system like this is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm running at high settings just like John is here at 1024 by 768. But I'm running also Windows Vista, and he's running Windows XP.
Yeah. That's a big difference.
So that's a big difference, as we found out in a scene like this. Like when I'm playing around right now, okay, it's like in that other room, it was like between, oh gosh, the frame rate is going everywhere right now. It's between 60 and 30, you know, like 60 and 30 FPS. It really depends. It's like 40 right now. Like I'm getting big drops. And
I'm at 60 right now, pretty smooth. Now there's some now it dropped.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so I think some of the frame rate drops might be due to the fact that this is not the official Doom 3 here. We're actually playing a mod, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're playing the Last Man Standing co-op mod, the version like 4.0, which I think was released in the mid 2000s. So we're like, you know, running some sort of legacy content as is anyways. And I was killed by a zombie.
Are you dead?
And I died, but it respawns me back at the section where we started off.
Okay, so we're good.
But basically, we've been finding out kind of that John's 6800 Go has less pixel pipelines and vertex, pipeline points or whatever. It has 12 and 5 respectively versus the 16 and 6 that my 6800 GT has. And it's also lower clocked.
Oh, I'm down too.
Oh, yeah. The enemies seem to be doing quite a bit of damage. But one thing we've kind of found out is that John's technically his Pentium 4 would probably be losing in a lot of benchmarks in the time to this AMD 3800 Plus, but at the same time, I'm running Windows Vista, and it apparently has a pretty big CPU cost in a game like Doom 3 for reasons that I really can't understand. But I'm like dropping really heavily frame rate wise right now, which is making
a little bit. I'm into the 50s a bit, kind of 50 to 60 range mostly right here.
So yeah, like when stuff goes down, like when an animated object starts animating really close to the screen here, this is where we talked to the guy who's dead on, half dead on the floor with no eyes. I remember this. Like when stuff starts going down, I've seen it drop into like what looks like the 20 FPS range for some reason. So that's not good at all. But GPU wise, I'm not at all limited. It seems like I'm having some really intense CPU limitations that I'm not sure.
That is really curious. And
yeah,
one of the things that makes, for me at least, this laptop so interesting is it's one of the first that I know of that was really genuinely a high performance gaming grade laptop. Like gaming laptops are super common now, but this was one of the first, I think, that actually pulled it off. It was a time when mobile technology, it was possible to make something small and light enough that you could still make a laptop out of it, even though this is technically a very hefty laptop. It is extremely big, and with 6 fans in there, man, it is it's not quiet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm running my PC right now. I haven't been using any PCs like from this time period in such a long. Where are we going here? In such a long time that I was not used to the kind of analog noises it makes versus like using an SSD for like your primary computing and things like that. Oh yeah, so yeah, there's a bunch of the see, like here I'm like in the 20s.
See,
this is crazy.
I'm dropping into the 30s here.
Okay, good. So
that hit hard for some reason.
Yeah, I'm like CPU limited. More than you are.
And I think this is running worse than vanilla Doom 3.
Oh, I think it is as well
is,
too.
Slamming these machines. So
like we're not only doing obviously the calculations on our main PC, but like it's having to do the network calculations as well too, and a variety of other things. Oh my gosh.
This is not playing as well, I think, compared to normal Doom 3. I guess the network lag in there, it's definitely, it doesn't feel quite right, but it is interesting that this exists at all. Also,
Yeah, I know,
if
right?
you stand behind me, like point your flashlight around, like I just love this. Like, obviously my character doesn't have a shadow, but I love seeing the shadows move around the environment there.
There
So
is
cool.
there's a command in the console to turn on player character shadows, but I actually forget what it is off the top of my head.
We were
can look it
talking
up. It's an
about we were
art.
talking about that earlier, where when you come back to a game like this, you remember that at one time I knew all these console commands by heart, but now I can't remember.
I know, like I could
Whoa.
not even remember how to open up the console actually the first time because I was just so used to tilde key. But I remember that the Doom 3 console, to open it up, you have to do a 3 keystroke of Control Alt and then the tilde key, and then you can type in another command like com_allow console, which then allows you to bring down the console with just one keystroke. I have no idea why they set up the game to do that thing. Actually, wait, John, turn around over here. Come over here. See this? These I love these cool little what are they called? Microscope models here, because they're also found in Rage, in one section of Rage. And Rage use mega textures, and for some reason, I love that. For some reason, the textures in the Rage version of this model are so low res that for some reason Doom 3 even looks better than Rage, even though it came out so many years.
I actually think Doom 3 looks better than Rage in general.
Yeah. I agree too.
It's very different though. I love these kind of normals here. Like, even though they're not super high res, like that circle when you stand back here, it's like really convincingly like for the time this looked so awesome.
Oh yeah, and we're both running on high settings here, so Doom 3's Ultra setting is pretty cool. It actually doesn't do much for a lot of the game graphics, but what it does do is it uses uncompressed textures.
Uncompressed textures. So the artifacts are removed.
Yeah, all those nice like colored artifacts that you can see sometimes if you look up at these textures up close, they're all gone. But for 2004, it was an impossibility to run them on pretty much anything. They required, I think, 512 megabytes of VRAM, and the game even warns you. Oh gosh, I love the pinky.
I know. And I think so. The 6800 Go has 256 megabytes of VRAM,
same here.
And it's the same on the GT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
no one was running this with ultra textures back in 2004, really.
This also makes me think of another really interesting thing about the 6800 Go in this laptop. It used a special PCI. Whoa.
That's not right.
It used to.
He's trying. There's no animation
work
for him coming in.
Oh, okay, that didn't work well at all.
We just got brutalized by a pinky. Technically, in that scene, like,
that was pretty glitchy.
That's so bad. That was really glitchy. There's another mod, by the way, for this game for co-op, but I chose Last Man Standing. Perhaps that was a mistake.
It's okay. This is still, it's interesting to look around.
Yeah.
But so what I was saying was the graphics card in this, it ships. You can actually replace it.
Oh, no way. What?
And I think that's really interesting. You can pop the graphics card out of this laptop and stick another one in. Now I think it's like the MXM. Or something. It's some sort of PCIe based mobile system. I think in this case the only upgrade was you could go from a 6800 Go to a 7800 Go,
which would be a pretty big upgrade.
Yeah, I should try to track one of those down. Actually.
Oh, there's another pinky coming right over here. Oh my gosh, they have so much HP. Wow.
Also, the game isn't really reacting correctly, so
yeah, like
it feels really weird.
Feels pretty. Yeah, I was just killed by
the lag is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm presuming in the lower left-hand corner is the network graph or something like that. I don't think it's actually your full-on performance or something like that. But it's also
you're
not
down
running
there.
Perfectly.
Look up.
Whoa, wait, you're up here? Oh yeah. This is awesome. So Doom 3 was obviously not made for co-op in mind on PC.
Yeah, on Xbox it was.
On Xbox though, it has like specially like the game's designed around co-op.
Yeah, that was one of the best features.
Yeah, this still does look really good. Actually, when you look down at me, what's your FPS?
60 pretty much.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so mine's like 54, 60 when I look up at you. But like if I go over to look across all these rooms over here, it's like horrendous. It's like 20. It's really, really bad. The game just stuttered.
I'm actually up here, up these steps.
Okay. I've got to come over to you. That's right. Sorry.
Here, wait. Stay down there. Can you come up the steps here? Hold on.
Let me take a look.
Yeah, right here. Yeah. Go back in the room where the level started.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's I didn't even
this
realize
way.
that there were steps. Yeah. Oh, that's true. It opens up.
See, it's the things you don't think about when you play in co-op here normally.
Yeah, so like Doom 3's lighting design is obviously very particular. It's a very special game from this time period. Like games for a long time were starting to add in real-time lighting, but how to get shadows from lights was like always a big question. Like, how do we do it? It's very expensive. And the way Doom 3 looked to solve it was through stencil shadow volumes.
Yep, shadow volumes.
Basically, it's like an extremely hard but perfectly razor sharp, pixel perfect shadow coming from the model. It has its own like setup cost. Oh, by the way, it T-posed into the room.
I know.
I'm getting like 15 FPS. What are you getting?
I'm in
it's
the
like
30s and 40s. It's
this
not
is
great.
This is not good.
Okay, yeah. When I stand back here, it's like 40 something.
Okay, wait. Let me take a look. It's like 24 for me. So I'm getting crazy CPU limited. Next to your PC.
Right as that enemy showed up, though, it actually did drop into the 20s for me.
Okay, so like for me, it like dropped into 18. I definitely think I'm gonna reconsider installing Windows Vista on this PC like I originally did. I thought it'd be great for like future games to try out, but it's only gonna be causing problems if it's having such a tremendous effect on the CPU performance. Like here, it's running really bad. I would say like this is. I mean, I don't know how well the original Xbox version ran, but this probably is not too far away
Xbox
from
ran
it.
at 30 FPS.
Yeah, this is worse than that. So
did we get the item? I was too busy not paying attention.
Yeah, no, I mean that
we
happens.
got a PDA. I think we use that now to go through the door back downstairs. Oh, that looks so cool.
Wait, let me turn off my flashlight.
Go inside the grate. Go inside that room, and I'll shine the light in there.
Okay, that is actually... See, like, this is what, like, these... Yeah, keep doing that. Like, these pixel razor-sharp shadows that scale to any resolution. They're obviously resolution independent, and they're perfect. And I almost kind of miss stencil shadows for that reason. Obviously, they're completely hard. They don't show any sort of softness.
So, there are kind of ways around that. I mean, obviously. But one of the ways that... So, Silent Hill 2 on PlayStation 2 uses shadow volumes as well. What they would do is render that out to a separate buffer, and they would apply like a softening filter to it, and then when you overlay it back with the rest of the game, it looks like soft shadows.
I prefer that way to do it too. Other games on PC tried to do that. Chronicles of Riddick, which I also want to cover in one of these videos on this PC, also did it in a very similar way that I think the Silent Hill 2 does it. And then Fear on PC from 2005 tries to do it as well, but it does it in a different way where it kind of like overlays multiple stencil shadows and that's
pretty expensive.
Hilariously expensive.
Yeah. Okay, let's go this way. T-pose. Woo.
Yeah. I could kind of do want to try the open co-op mod instead of this one day, just for kicks, because I only chose to use this Last Man Standing mod because it's actually what I remember using at this time period.
What's going on?
Yeah, there's a guy behind us with a shotgun. A couple of
the way
zombies.
They sort of
in fact, there's like
I actually got killed.
There's like 3 dudes here, and I only have a pistol, and I'm probably gonna die.
Not working great.
There's like oh my gosh, yeah.
See, I normally love Doom 3, but the way this
I do
plays
too.
Is not excellent.
No, this is pretty janky right now.
I really want to do a full DF retro on this game sometime, and I should have you. We should do it together or something.
I would love to contribute in any way possible. I have such grand memories of playing this game. Like I played it, obviously, on my X800 XT machine, which ran very differently than this. And another thing to talk about too here is John's running the game with triple buffering and VSync.
Oh yeah.
Which like produces an okay image when the game drops frame rate. The game also, in general, doesn't feel totally smooth when you drop frame rate because, as John can talk about it, it uses like a fixed tick thing where like...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you can probably explain it better.
They have a tick rate set to 60. The game's designed to target 60 frames per second, and all the logic is based on that as well. Basically, this allows it to run at any frame rate while still targeting like 60 hertz is like the I guess that's like the target for everything. If you disable that, you can fix you can change it so that the tick rate is set to a fixed 60 hertz or 60, right? And if you enable this, that means that the game logic becomes set to that point, and if you're dropping below 60 FPS, everything slows down. So if you go from 60 to 30, the game runs at half the speed. That was the issue, and it makes it look smoother, but also worse in the sense that you have to be hitting 60 for it to work. But otherwise, with the default setting, with fixed tick 0, you get literally like a little hitch every few seconds.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure I'm using fixed tick 1 at the moment. But so John's got triple buffering, which is helping a bit, and this fixed tick thing going on as well. But I can't even run triple buffering for some reason. I think it's because Windows Vista broke OpenGL VSync support on this GPU, just the 6800 series probably, I'm thinking. Because going back in time, looking at forum posts, I'm also seeing people asking why triple buffering is not working in Doom 3, and other people are saying it is. So I'm assuming some people were running on Vista and others weren't, and not understanding why the game wasn't working correctly. Which is a shame. I am running the game, and by the way, your spawn did damage to me.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's cool.
Okay.
48 FPS, 51 FPS. So I'm
60.
CPU limited. Yeah, of course you are. I'm so jealous. I love the way this looks. What
this
a good
is so
looking
weird,
game.
man, that a laptop is performing so well. But it really just seems like it's AMD versus Intel, perhaps, and also Vista.
Yeah. I know it's totally Vista. I'm pretty sure this Doom 3 is one of those games that runs best on NVIDIA for GPU and runs best on AMD for CPU, according to the marketing materials.
Here, you handle the enemies. I'll use the flashlight.
So like,
get him.
Oh, see, this is amazing looking. Okay, other than the lag from the game client itself, this is so cool. This is kind of like, if there was an official, co-op version of this is how you'd be playing it. Someone is holding the flashlight and the other person.
I love it.
And that's something that was changed in the BFG version of the game.
I know.
And I don't have any great love for that.
Nope. Everybody
BFG,
complained about it. They always wanted the duct tape mod.
Yeah, right. But the game's balanced around, having to constantly switch your weapons. And, it's a game about being dark. And I don't have a big problem with
And
that.
I love this part, by the way. The way this looks, the way they sort of fake these shadows from the lights. There's fence grates over the lights above, and you look down, and you have that, like, soft...
yeah, like the penumbra shadow coming from the grates above.
So good.
Yeah, they would like overlay a projection texture and project it outward, and then have stencil shadows from that. So like I should have like nice stencil shadows underneath me.
Yeah, you do.
Which looks really good. I'm just looking in here too. Isn't there a way to turn off the flashlight's button? You can have it out, but also turn. Yeah, it's R. You can turn on and off the flashlight. I love that.
There's legs. There's latency on it.
That's funny. Right? You noticed that too?
That's funny.
It's funny.
All right, let's keep going.
There's a lot of really great things in Doom 3 that are very specific to it. Obviously, the stencil shadows, like this is historically very unique. Other games used it, but not a lot of them. And also, I would say the way it does... Oh, wait, I cannot go through this door. Do you have to kill the dudes ahead of you for us to be able to go? Okay, well, I'm kind of stuck at the... Oh, wait, no. Transfer the door. I have to hit the button.
Oh, I see.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Alex.
But another thing that was really interesting is it used per pixel collision detection for the single player component, at least. So Doom 3's models look really good in the lighting that it has, but they're actually kind of simplistic geometrically. They got a lot of their detail from the bump maps. To keep performance high on them for the shadow volumes, which were pretty expensive, they needed to be a bit like lower geometry level. So they'll have like less geometry on a model than say like one you'd find in Half-Life 2. Right. But they could also abuse this fact to make the collision model for the thing be the exact same as the real model itself, which is extremely rare in video games. Like that the collision model is actually lined up 1-to-1 with the real game model. You just
that's a good point.
So you could there's these little trite spiders in the game and stuff, and you can shoot in between their individual legs. I love that. And razor precision.
You really don't see that often, do you?
I don't think I've ever seen in any other game than Doom 3 or id Tech 4 derivatives. By the way, these flashing lights here are so alien and aliens. Oh, it's so good looking. Wow. Oh, see, I'm like 21 FPS when you just shot that dude. That was horrible. Yeah, it's just so bad. I'm totally gonna nuke the Vista install.
From a distance, that texture here on this like tubing, looks so cool. Like,
it looks so
legit.
geometric. Yeah, it doesn't look anything like just a bump map. That's the thing. Like I was talking about in the Halo 2 video the other day, how that game might have had sections of it designed around stencil shadows that were removed, and here, the whole game designed around it. They could use it for every single scene, and make all the bump maps look so good. I only have a pistol, and this is not going to go well. There's a lot of imps.
Right.
And I'm like, the performance is so bad on my end. I don't think if I were playing in single player, it'd be running this poorly.
No.
Because I did load up, obviously, this game in single player beforehand, not using the mod, just to kind of figure out how it runs on the 6800 GT. And it was running way better than this.
Yeah, and I've played through this game on this laptop before.
Yeah.
And it was much better.
Wow, this door is running really horribly right now. Maybe we're not hosting the server ourselves right here.
It wasn't
we're
working.
using a community server, which could be running on, like, I don't even know, some absolutely really poor spec PC. Look at that post-processing right now that's coming up on screen, John.
I know.
That is really...
It's like the ghost part where they throw objects around the room using physics.
How scary, and it makes, like, sounds. Oh,
Yeah.
God. I just died to a shotgunner that I couldn't see because Doom 3 is the darkest
glitchy
game that was
in
ever made
co-op
by
mode.
mankind. I'm really curious how the open co-op
I'm dead.
mod runs. Yeah, you're dead. I'm going to wait for you then. But
Yeah, this is not playing well.
no, it isn't. I'm really thinking that I'm going to actually probably do a dual boot install now with Vista on one hard drive, partition of the hard drive, and then the other partition being XP. Because right now this is very unjustified performance. I shouldn't be running worse than you in this game.
But
all things
yeah,
considered.
that's true. It is really baffling. Oh,
Yeah.
But some
This
of it is
area.
just the lag, the latency from the. It's really acting weird. The way things sort of warp around and. Whoa! So one of the big features of Doom 3 was the remarkable animation quality.
Oh yes, geez.
And that's a little bit ruined here. It's compromised by the co-op mod.
Yeah,
But, you know,
we still at least get the really good first-person animations. Like, I always really loved the reload animation on the pistol and the sounds it makes. I just kind of loved the, Blade Runner style pistol and things like that. We have to go in between its shot
I'm in
cycles,
here.
right?
I just went through.
I'm gonna let it shot cycle again really quickly.
Oh, dang it! Why is this so
How
easy to die?
frustrating is this,
I don't
John?
understand. Like how easy this is to die. It's terrible. This is not how Doom 3 normally plays.
No, Doom 3 is actually, in my opinion, a very good game. I just
agree.
got shot. I just got shot by the thing. By the way, the cycler.
Well, if you duck down, it's fine.
But, I mean, what?
Oh, see, I didn't
Yeah.
duck down. No, the beam didn't fire, did it?
No, I didn't see it firing too. That's why I was a little confused.
Oh, this,
so
this
I think
is
it's
such a
maybe
mess
out
right
of
now. We're
sync.
playing on old hardware. We're networking old machines, playing an old co-op mod that barely works.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the open co-op mod is probably produced from a later period of time, so maybe it runs better than this. So I don't know if it's on right now. The beam. Okay, let's just
I think
duck.
it's on because that okay. So the
Yeah?
beam isn't being drawn. That's the issue.
Okay, I'm ducking too. I'm ducking.
So just try to stay down as much as you
Okay,
can.
so
See, and then what the? You just come out of there and you're dead.
okay, I see him.
Hold on. Is there something I can do?
There's a machine gun. There was a machine gunner right on the door to the right hand side, and I just saw you get totally destroyed by him.
I wonder if I
There's
can do
also a
this.
bunch of
Call
zombies
me
here.
vote.
Yeah, you want to switch levels?
Set skill to 1.
Oh yeah. Please wait a second. I have to kill this zombie in front of me before I can vote. Yes.
Because normally this is not a problem, but again,
No.
with this mod, it's just not working well.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
a complete mess. This video is so random, Alex. We're just like sitting here talking about stuff like.
There's just when you're doing co-op, there's so much to talk about at the same time while trying to preserve your life. I do enjoy the fact that your corpse leaves, but your character name stays on the ground where it was.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really janky. I mean, there's some not
Yeah.
janky things in this ports. Like, if you look at me, John, like when I take out like my PDA. It shows my PDA and it looks really cool.
I love that.
Like, this is another great thing to talk about. Doom 3's interfaces, which are, once again, another wholly unique thing that I've really only ever seen Doom 3 do.
Yeah.
Doom 3 really well.
The console UI that they have for all the different screens in the game, including the PDA.
Yeah, I know, right? I think it's using an earlier version of Flash, like Swift or whatever.
Yeah, it's like all vectorized artwork, I think. So everything's kind of high res, and
you can like look at the screen right here, and it scales like super high res. And as you move the screen, the mouse around it actually targets exactly where the mouse is on the screen. And they use it for like a ton of stuff in the game. And I'm actually pretty sure they also use it for the weapon gun ammo readouts on the guns.
You're exactly right.
And I love the way that looks. This is another also section where they do really cool projected shadows. Oh god, I'm getting shot from, but I don't know where. Oh
yeah,
gosh.
I love how they add those projected shadows throughout the game for things that are a little bit more diffuse due to the distance between the light and the object. So it's not all the hard stencil shadows for everything. Like combining the two is very effective. And over here, this bump map, man.
Oh wait.
Look at this one at the end of the hallway.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's so good looking. With the bottom, like the light coming up from the top and below. It actually does.
That looks so good.
That doesn't look anything like a bump map. That it looks so good.
I know, yeah.
Why does it look so good? Jesus.
I just love. I love the way.
But okay, so check out the. Okay, so I think they also in the projection texture there's like a bit of faked motion blur look to it.
Oh yeah.
But check out the actual fans above it. Like if you see them, do you see them?
Oh.
Look how awkwardly low they are in frame rate.
I kind of wish I hadn't seen those.
Like the projection texture is like spinning and looking really great, but the fans are a little bit less impressive. And the interesting thing is they're running at different speeds. A little bit, yeah. They do look like something out of Turok 2. I'll be completely honest. You know.
Okay, we gotta turn this off, don't we?
Oh yeah. This is like one of the many environmental puzzles of Doom 3, which I actually do enjoy, by the way.
Yeah, I do too.
A lot of people don't like Doom 3 because, well, this
looks great. That thing right there.
This is it reminds me of one of the earlier sections of like one of the first Doom 3 screenshots they showed off. Yep. One thing that they turned off for the retail version of the game for many of the monsters and for many of the character models. Oh yeah, I love this. Yeah, he's just coming out, the fat zombie. There's a guy behind me. Oh god. So that's a typical Doom 3 trap. Oh, we spawned a zombie in front of you, but there's another one behind you as well. You know, like.
Yeah, they love to do that.
They love to do that. What are the? But I was saying. Oh gosh.
There's the black.
A lot of people don't like Doom 3 because it's very different, obviously, than Doom 1 and Doom 2, and it kind of. Is, I would say, almost like a more FPS focused System Shock, almost.
It's like Doom meets survival horror in a way.
Yeah. There's these elements of like you interacting with the environment, you trying to get puzzles done, like seal breached fire section pipe.
Okay.
Pipe leak fire.
Please seal it.
I just did. Okay, we're good. I do love that. Wow.
I love how there's this little red light here on the console.
And that actually has a real light attached to it.
It's a real light casting a shadow from the side there, it looks like. From the edge of the terminal.
That is actually amazing looking. I'm going to pick up this HP.
Man, this is such a great looking game.
I know. Only if it was running better this co-op. Like right now I'm 60 FPS and it looks really great, like it does dip when I get over here, but yeah, so it goes. But I'm not running with VSync, as I mentioned earlier, because otherwise I'd be double buffered VSync, and this would be running way, way worse. Oh god, this is running so poorly.
Whoa, what's going on?
Oh, is there a dude over there?
I was taking some damage, I'm not sure why. Here,
let me shine the flashlight.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
there's an imp over here, and wait, there's a guy in front of you. I'm shooting him, but there's probably a guy. Oh my god, look at the lag here.
Oh, that was awful.
That was awful. We should just not do anything. The game is so much better when we're not doing anything.
Projected texture alert.
Projected. Oh yeah. And it actually projects onto your gun too.
Yep.
Your hand.
Oh, it looks so good.
I mean, there's so many things to talk about with Doom 3. Like, so Half-Life 2 is known for its physics, but like Doom 3 has quite a lot of physics as well too. Like these boxes and stuff. I mean,
not as robust, and there's not as many objects that use it, and it's not part of the gameplay per se, but it is there, and it does add to the experience.
Yeah, and they tried to do in Resurrection of Evil. They added in like basically what was a gravity gun.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did it after the fact or before. I mean, there's probably wow.
This guy.
Yeah. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. He doesn't have any self shadows. If you look, his shadows project through him, but not onto him.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And the reason why they did that is because obviously the engine's totally capable of it. But this is 30 or so FPS. But since the models are so, there's a guy behind you. Since the models are so low geometric, poly count, that when they self shadow, they can look a little bit awkward because there's just like really sharp lines on them, and they seem to be coming almost from nowhere, and it kind of ruins their look a little bit. So
yeah.
I think one of the few self-shadowing monsters are all like the bosses, like the Cyber Demon. I think is.
Yeah, he's cool.
And I think maybe the Hell Knights are too, and maybe also the Commander model boss. I forget his name.
Or the boss that takes place in Hell.
Oh, which one?
You know the one where after you go through Hell, there's like that big flying, or not even like that. There's a huge creature that you face off against. And I can't even remember what he looks like, but he was super cool looking at the time.
Oh, see, now I finally picked up a shotgun again.
Okay, flashlight. Shotgun.
Like, they just kind of come out of like the blackness. John and
we're playing without sound, right?
Yeah, we're playing also without sound too, because it complicates the recording process, unfortunately. Look at all those barrels.
Ooh, nice slowdown.
Yeah. 33 FPS here.
This runs worse than a PS3.
Actually, it would be interesting to see how Doom 3 BFG runs on this PC. I wonder if it does actually.
I wonder if it runs better or worse, actually.
Yeah, I don't know, because this game, this is a great thing to talk about. I'm using an AMD with 2 cores, not super high clocked. I think it's like 2 gigahertz or 2.2 maybe. But this game is one of the first games that I recall actually that scales to 2 cores.
Impressive.
The front end of the graphics and the gameplays are run on 1 core, and then the back end OpenGL calls, like for like doing drawing and stuff like that, are done on another. And it does scale to like hyper threading from the day or like my CPU, but the Doom 3 BFG edition kind of gets rid of that model and actually starts using Intex 5's job system.
Yeah.
So it can scale like to a number of threads. I don't know if there's like a hard limit. I can't actually see the guy who's shooting us, by the way.
I got him.
I don't know if there's a hard limit, but I think for like the consoles, which is what Doom 3 BFG was kind of, I just fell through this sucks, John. I fell through the floor. Like the sequences of the game where you're like supposed to jump over a chasm or something like that just do not work in co-op.
Yeah.
Like no.
So
I felt it.
It's interesting you say that, because that's actually one of the reasons I think Quake 4 on Xbox 360 is so poor.
Oh yeah.
It was ported at the same time when the 360 launched, and Quake 4 was brand new. There was a port of it to 360, and it runs at an obscenely low frame rate. It's always dropping into like the 20s, and it uses 4x MSAA of all things. But
yeah, right.
I gather what's going on there partially is they're not really exploiting, I guess. I mean, it was a tri-core CPU in the 360, so it's not that different, I guess. But clearly the engine received a lot of work and optimization to help it run better on console hardware later in the generation. Yeah,
and I think that job system from Intec 5, like Rage, which ran, for the time 60 FPS, it's pretty impressive. But that getting this like it does in BFG edition really helps out the frame rate probably for CPU bound machines.
Exactly.
GPU wise, I actually don't know how much more optimized it is than this.
That's a good question.
I have no idea, but I'm running out of ammo and this is running horribly.
Really?
Yeah, I was like just shooting that guy. There's an imp behind you, by the way. It's like 15 FPS, 30, 24. This is so bad.
I can't wait to actually see this finished video that we're recording now, because I want to see the full frame rate
Oh, the frame time
experience,
graph?
the full fat frame rate experience on both machines.
Yeah, yours is going to be looking so much better than mine because I'm going to have not only full screen tearing, but also like 15 FPS occasionally. It's really bad. I kind of do want to flash some footage of how it actually runs in single player here right now and see if it's actually running better. I swear it should be running quite a bit. Where'd you go? My goodness.
I'm back here. Oh, you come up the ladder.
Oh, there's a ladder. Sorry, yeah.
Whoa. No animation there. Okay. Not surprising.
Yeah. Doom 3 didn't, like, I don't think actually many games use ladder animations from this time period.
No.
One of the first I can think of, oh, that's a really cool little thing. One of the first I can think of is Crysis. I remember that having a ladder animation.
Also, the first-person view model, it's not integrated into the game world in that way. It's just like a floating hand that's like connected to the player viewport. So,
wow, this area is so dark. Welcome to Doom 3, Marine. I guess we're supposed to go down here.
Yeah,
I remember this.
I got the
section.
PDA. So.
Yeah, from Bernie Lipschitz. I think one of the famous things, or one of the cool things about Doom 3 is like the Easter eggs throughout all the games. Like, I think the way like the chainsaws end up on the Martian base is like someone accidentally ordered something and a bunch of chainsaws came.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, like I love that. Like the little details and like I think like all the dead characters that you find and all the dead people's PDAs. I think they're like intact staff usually.
That's right. Can you guess what I'm doing, by the way?
You're looking at the really cool like distortion from the glass, which looks really awesome, by the way.
I love
Is this glass breakable? I don't want to break it because it looks so cool. But yeah, like this like frame buffer distortion behind the glass here, which
so
like
cool.
gives it does look really cool, even at 1024 by 768.
Yeah,
like
that was such a novel effect for the time, right?
Yeah,
because nobody had really tried to simulate much in the way of actual glass.
Yeah, right.
In any significant way. I mean, Half-Life 2 would come along later that year and do some cool shader effects on glass surfaces. But I love this. This is a pretty neat technique.
You know what this reminds me of something too? If I recall, like the lab section of Far Cry also may have some glass in it too, but I don't remember what it looks like.
But there's right.
There's some really cool history there about like, so everyone's really expecting Doom 3 to come out and be like, you know, the most amazing looking game. And it really is an amazing looking game. It scales super hard.
And optimized, it should be noted. Like this is one of the, at the time, buying a new PC game in the shop, bringing it home and having it run great, like out of the box was not a common thing.
Because Half-Life 2 didn't do that by far.
No, it was awful.
Right?
But Doom 3 did. Doom 3 ran really well with version like 1.0 right off the disc. It's quite smooth. I played the heck out of it on my Radeon 9700 Pro, which I had before this laptop. And yeah, it was awesome.
I X800 XT, I don't remember any problems with it at all, like we're seeing in this mod right now. And I was also not running Vista at that time. But so before Doom 3 comes out, I think in like March or May of that year, Far Cry kind of drops, and no one had probably been really paying attention to what Far Cry was before it came out too much, because it's coming from a studio where it's their first game, and it has a lot of the graphical features and cool stuff that Doom 3 has, but came out earlier. Like it has stencil shadows, it has extensive uses of, you know, bump mapping, and, you know, kind of almost stole a little bit of Doom 3's thunder.
A little bit, but what it didn't have at the time, and it's something they would rectify in Crysis, is art direction.
Are you telling me that you don't like that game's art direction, John?
not the biggest fan of the Trigen or the or I'm gonna shoot you in the face, guys.
Or like how the main villain has like a cowboy hat on.
That guy in the shirt.
Yeah, there's a lot of questionable decisions for art in Far Cry. There's some stuff that I like, but
fully rectified in Crysis. Like fair play. Crysis is gorgeous. Artistically.
The one thing that keeps Doom 3. Oh yeah, this is where the corpse animates itself.
Oh yeah.
It also ran really poorly. Just if you looked at it right now.
Do you want to try going to hell real quick?
Let's go to hell. Oh hell's an amazing level. God.
Let's change the map to that.
Yeah. But yeah, Doom 3, one thing that keeps it looking so good over time is, of course, the fact that it has such amazing art direction. It's so consistent. Everything looks...
Okay, vote.
Change map to hell. That is an amazing
Alex, go
vote.
to hell.
Let's go to hell. This art direction holds up really well over time, and since everything is unified in terms of lighting and shadowing, there's no like baked lighting in this game. Everything always seems to work, and is designed around that. And I think that really made it held up over time better than Far Cry, where only a couple sections of Far Cry are utilizing real-time lighting, and other sections aren't.
Yeah.
So like, this really helps it look better, more unified.
This is also a game that, one, it looks amazing on a CRT.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
But also, it looks really good on an OLED TV because the game is so contrasty. Having that infinite black level of an OLED is perfect for this game. It creates this super punchy, intense color. And I would love to see a version of this game retooled to use HDR.
I know, right?
That would be so cool.
So like, there are mods online for, wow, this looks amazing. It's also running way better than the other section we were just at right now. That corpse is animating and telling us the way to go, but at a very poor frame rate. I don't know if you can see that. So when you come into hell, I think you're out of weapons when you first start off.
Yeah. But you can get some around here.
You can get some around here.
Come get some.
Come get some. Yeah,
No.
actually. Oh, here's a shotgun and some bullets.
Let's see how this handles this upcoming scripted sequence here.
Yeah, I don't have great. I mean, I'm getting 60 FPS right now, and it looks
I'm
pretty
not,
great.
actually. I'm under 60.
Okay, so this is the thing. So this is cool. Wait, John, come back here.
Yeah.
This is an area where I'm not CPU limited, and John isn't either, and I have a technically slightly faster GPU with like clock speed and more pixel engines, and it's running this scene at 60 FPS. And what's yours?
It's hard to tell because it's changing a lot, but it's kind of like 45 to 55 range.
Okay, so I would imagine this scene is probably there's a lot of smoke and fire here, and it's like maybe a bit bandwidth bound.
Yeah, probably.
That sounds about right.
So yeah, that's a case where there is a difference. So
Yeah,
we're both
I'm
hitting
so happy.
very different bottlenecks, which is fun.
Yeah.
Whoa, I was
Yeah,
telefragged by you.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Well, that sucks actually. I'm sorry you didn't get to see how cool the animation was because I came in behind you. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel bad now.
Okay, I'm coming right back.
Yeah. When you go to the hell, the imps also get a new texture, which I always liked. That's like a really cool attention to detail. There's so much about hell that looks really good, like the skybox, all the floating, like geometry.
Yeah.
I always loved it.
I always love this level when using Sick Mod. When they get all the parallax occlusion maps in there. It was so good.
It's one thing, like Doom, since it has all this unified lighting, like just making the textures look better, even just like a bit higher res or using like parallax mapping, just looks so much better as a result.
Yeah, it
Well,
does.
this is really dark, by the way. And I don't have a flashlight. You don't either, right?
I do.
Oh, really? I didn't pick mine up, that means.
Oh, okay. So I'll be the flashlight guy.
That's amazing.
ahead.
Now, wasn't there Mancubus in this scene? Like, there's no way we can actually fight Mancubus.
He shows up at some point. No, not here.
Oh, this is...
this
Oh,
is
no
him.
way. We're going to have to fight a
Yeah, the
Hell Knight with a
Baron.
pistol?
Or a Hell Knight? Is this a
Yeah.
Hell Knight or a Baron of Hell? No, it's...
Yeah, this game doesn't have barons in it.
That's
It
true,
has
that's right.
helmets.
It's Hell Knights, and it's the weird... It is actually the Hell version.
Oh, God, and then
And
there's the
it's the
cherub
babies.
babies.
The cherub
This
babies.
is... That's probably one of the reasons why the game is rated M beyond other things. You get to shoot things that look like babies in it. Like
Yeah.
that. Like how did that pass ESRB?
All the weird textures they apply to the enemies when in Hell is kind of creepy. It makes
Yeah.
them much weirder looking. Unusual.
And they can get away with really cool lighting here. It's so dark though. My goodness.
It's hard to see.
This area reminds me a lot of like one of the Quake episode levels. Like when I think about it. More even so than Doom 1 or Doom 2, because there's a lot of Quake episode levels that have like grates beneath lava.
Oh yeah, that's super
Yeah.
common.
Yeah. Wow. This room.
This room
There's
is
a lot of
awesome.
geometry.
Yeah.
So like what is your FPS here?
60.
Okay, good. So it was just that one area there where you were dropping. Yeah, wow. And I can see your like cool shadows flying around everywhere.
I love this area. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, the T-posing imp. How embarrassing.
T-posing. When they came through the Hell portal, they T-posed into existence.
What an embarrassing birth. But I think that's actually as much as that we can say about Doom 3 in this little weird mod situation where it's running kind of poorly and not showing the game off as well as it could. This, requires the DF retro treatment. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I think we need to give it the full treatment at some point. And really look at not just this, but, check out that original leaked version. Check out the original Xbox version. Go through the full fat experience.
I know. And I think I'll be looking forward to that in the future. And also to more 2005 era PC videos where I'll be looking at games like Far Cry, Chronicles of Riddick, Oblivion, and anything you think that looks great that you can write down in the comments below. And if you did like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're already a subscriber, then consider hitting that little bell in the corner to be informed as soon as Digital Foundry posts a video. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, consider supporting us on Patreon to get years worth of Digital Foundry content available for download. If you want to talk about John or myself about Doom 3, write a comment below or follow John and myself on Twitter. And as always, this is Alex bidding you farewell und
Auf Wiedersehen.